And now it's time for Joel's Gnomes.
Hello, welcome to Joel's Gnomes. I'm Gunter, I'm one of Joel's Gnomes, and today we're going to be continuing our series of what we call ubiquitous plants. These are plants that are extremely easy to grow, they're disease resistant, they're drought tolerant, they're wetness tolerant, they're pest resistant, inexpensive, and this coming spring you're going to find them in every single nursery and hardware store. Last time we did the ubiquitous euonymus, that fellow right back there. Today we're going to talk about the ubiquitous privet. Now privets can be grown from zone 4 to zone 9. They're extremely invasive, native to China and the Himalayas. They're now grown on pretty much every continent except Antarctica. We're in zone 6, so we're just fine. Zone 6 will probably turn into zone 7 in the coming decades or so the privets will be just fine. Privets can be grown in full sun to partial shade. They are, as we said, very low maintenance. Pretty much all you do is you dig the hole, you pop them in. If the plants come out of the pot and they're all tightly root bound, you can just cut up some of those tightly bound roots or tear them apart, plant them in the ground, keep them good and moist for a couple of weeks, and they'll be just fine. You may want to amend your soil with some compost when you plant them. That will make them look better over their lifetime. Privets come in evergreen to deciduous forms. They have mainly rounded leaves that can be very, very small, up to maybe $1/2 size or so. Most of them are green, some of them are golden. They're best used as hedge plants and background filler plants. And they grow very fast, up to 2 feet a year. Now there's two main drawbacks to privets. One is they're very, very fast growing. So if you're looking for a plant that you put it in the spring and you can watch the game until the fall and all you have to do is rake up the leaves, this is not that plant. You're going to be outside about 2 to 4 times a year, shearing them back. Some gardeners even say best time to plant a privet is every time you pass by it. Once you start a privet, you'll see what we mean because they grow quickly. Also, they're very prolific. They have small white flowers that have a scent. Some people don't like the scent. We gnomes, we're okay with the scent. It's not amazing. It's not bad. So after they flower, then they have little black berries that birds eat, and then they'll poop them out all over your yard, in your garden bed, in the neighbor's yard. So once you have a privet, it's really tough to get rid of one. So here's our privet hedge. Came with the house. The gnomes cut this hedge back to about 6 inches tall about 4 years ago. And 4 years later, it's up to 5 feet. Privet's full height and width go from about 5 to 15 feet in width and height. So when you're pruning your privet hedge, what you want is you want it thicker, wider at the base, tapering up to a narrower top. That way the sun can hit all the leaves all the way to the ground and you won't get bare spots down below. So we prune this back pretty heavily, about 4 times a year. We miss the last kind of heavy pruning, so it bulges out there a little bit, but 5 minutes with the head shears and this thing will be ready for the spring. This is a more evergreen privet. It's a golden privet. Provides some more interest than your run-of-the-mill green privet, and it stays pretty much green and yellow all through the winter. In the spring, all these old leaves are going to be pushed out by the new growth. So we planted this as a specimen plant. We're going to let it have more of a natural shape to it. We just hand prune these. One way to propagate your privet is you take a sprig, tear it off, remove these lower leaves, you pop the stick end in the ground, leave it moist, constantly moist, and in a couple of months this will root, and you'll have yourself another privet plant which you can add to your garden or give to family and friends. So that about sums up the privet. Use it as a hedge. You can try it as a specimen plant if you find it somewhat interesting. Full sun to part shade. It grows 5 to 15 feet tall and wide if left unchecked. It will tolerate every 5 years or so you chopping it way back down to 6 inches off the ground and let it take its course again. It's disease tolerant, it's pest resistant, it's drought tolerant. You don't have to water it too much after you plant it. The two bad parts about it is you have to shear it at least twice a year if you want it to behave itself, as well as it will self-seed all over your garden. So that's the Ubiquitous Privet. Once again, I'm Gunter. I'm one of Joel's gnomes. We thank you so much for watching the program, and so hit the subscribe button below if you would like to stay in tune with more of our videos, and feel free to share this channel with other YouTube subscribers, family, friends, even people you don't like. We don't care. So thanks again.